Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from My Stern Gamers, and welcome. So today we're looking at another beautiful creation from the Steam Workshop. Now this is another completely vanilla ship. This is the Malafar, designed by Vandal, and we've seen some of his work before, and this one doesn't disappoint. It's got a very beautiful exterior, and it's got a simple but functional interior piece of design. So we'll start at the front of the ship, looking around the exterior first, and then we'll pop inside. So the first thing you'll notice is this sort of hammer head sort of bridge. We've got multiple bridge decks here. We've got the upper bridge, and if we just have a peer into there, we can actually have a look at the variety of cockpits up there. And then if we lower ourselves down, you'll see that he's added a few semi-constructed blocks in this area to work as antennas. He's also added some antenna blocks that the laser antennas function there, just adding these really nice bits of detail. And something you'll notice throughout this design is how he's detailed the darker areas of the ship, adding these little bits of armored blocks and ribbon into areas that don't necessarily need the detail, but from a distance it really does a lot to the design. And it's even more clear here. As you can see, he's got this rib here of multiple armored blocks that back to back, and then he's entered into this area. He's got the windows that will open up with some interior blocks mixed in there, as well as oxygen generators. And in some parts he's used the wheel block very effectively with the reinforced armor block, just to add that nice little bit of detail to the ribs within that ship. So as we continue back around the front, you can see if we scoop ourselves under, we've got staircases here, I'm guessed to be used as some sort of air vent, and that scoops very nicely into the engine bay. Now the thing that really catches your attention about this ship when you first look at it is the angling of the side pieces of armor. Now what he's actually done is added staggered sort of pieces of armor using the rotor sort of tip that we've looked at in the past, but what he's done really nicely here is he's continued this across the side of the ship, and in some parts of this armor we've got these little bits of antenna things that are coming off the side, just adding a lot of detail. Not super functional for survival, I do know, but it really adds the detail in, as well as using these small catwalk walkways to add a little bit of ribbon venting into that area, just making it look absolutely beautiful. He's got really sharp with some of the angles in here as well, and it's not usually my thing. I really like a round ship, but since he's actually sharpened his angles off correctly and then he's cut into the ship where it feels like it needs to be, just look at this, how beautiful this engine bay looks around this hydrogen thruster. He's cut in with the armor, and then he's cut in with the staggered armor as well, and just leaves for this very beautiful in-cut hydrogen thruster into that rear part of the design. Now under there, this reminds me a little bit of a Zeppelin sort of design. We've got this partially constructed catwalk using the blocks in their sort of lower state. You can see that's built into there, and we've got the walkway down to two fighters that are stationed on both sides, ready to intercept any sort of pilots that plan on boarding and trying to take the supplies. Now something I do really love about this ship is just have a look at these little fins that he's put near the rear of the ship. We've got four, we've got two on each side at the back here, just adding that little bit of extra detail, as well as using that curve block there. Now at the back we've just got a simple 3-engine hydrogen thruster pack that's been rounded off very nicely, and just look how well this angled armor has actually been integrated into the design here. It just cuts back, looks very skinny against the actual armor itself as we have a look in the inside there. Just a very nice piece of design and engineering. Across the top it is quite simple. We've got a little bit of an observation deck up at the top, and if we have a look underneath as well, we've got a very simple underneath in design where we've got a few of these oxygen sort of thrusters, so we can actually begin descending, as well as a sneaky peek at our cargo bay that is actually covered up the side so people can't actually log in and try to steal supplies from the outside, with a nice few catwalk doors. Very nice indeed. Let's continue and have a look on the inside of this beast. So we've took a tour of the outside of the ship, but let's go inside. Now one of the easiest ways I found inside is through the fighter bay here. We've got the two fighters docked on both sides, and as we enter up through this catwalk we go into a smaller sort of cargo bay where we met with a number of different coloured containers. Now I'm guessing that these could be colour coded depending on what supplies they have in them, but this is just more of a look thing at the moment. It's not super functional, they're not hooked up to multiple pipes around the ship. Now we're presented with two staircases going up to the upper deck, but for the moment we're going to continue through here. Now there's a lot of open spaces like this, so it's perfect for porting into your world and turning it into your sort of ship on your adventure if you need it, of course. And then we continue onto here that I think would be a great room to monitor all supplies aboard this transport vessel, so you could have your ore containment, maybe your metal and different things, and maybe if you're refining resources as you're traveling, you could have that displayed there as well. So as we enter into this sort of micro command room, we've got one of these on both sides, as well as the command room up there, and my character is displayed there. Now to the side we have two more sort of observation areas, maybe deck these out with a few seats. And what are pretty cool with the windows here, we've got an outer window that's been cut down, but we've got an inner window as well, so it means one shot will disable the outer window and you'll still be okay with the inner window for protection. But let's continue up to the next deck. Now the best way to actually get up to this next deck is just monitor through the actual ship itself and ghost our way up, but you could actually use the stairs as well that are represented at 2 very quick intervals. But there's the secondary bridge, and I'll show you back where the stairs are. So we just came up the deck, and there's the staircase. Now the staircase also goes up to the observation deck up here. Now the observation deck just has 2 chairs, quite simple, just where you can post your lookout and keep an eye on the skies around your ship, because space pirates are really a big problem. Anyway, let's access back to our character. We'll take this thing for a quick spin before we wrap this up. So we're in the ship now, we're going to power up our engines and have a look at our sort of acceleration that we've got here. Okay, so the acceleration is very slow, but this is not going to be a fast ship, it's supposed to be a transport. We've got some good rotation though and turning, and it doesn't seem like anything's breaking off quite at the moment, so we'll just turn the hood off for the moment, have a quick look at our acceleration. Let's see how fast we slow down. So if I access that, so it's quite a slow down, a lot like a tanker, that's what it reminds me of this. It's not a super big ship though, so I'd expect a little bit more responsibility. We've definitely got the turn-in radius that I'd like of a small cargo vessel, but a very nice ship overall. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and definitely check this out in the workshop, and there'll be a link below. Oh no, we just lost a ship off the side. One of the fighters has broken off. Maybe I was a little bit too violent. Have we lost the other one in the process? Yes, we have. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.